Okay guys, now I will be showing you how to attach an invisible zipper. I have my skirt here, which is a 12-piece skirt, and this is my zipper allowance. I ironed my zipper allowance inward on both sides, okay, and I have my zipper here, which is an invisible zipper. This is the right side of the zipper and this is the wrong side of my zipper. So I will place my zipper inside my skirt like so. So the right side of my zipper will be facing up, so which means the wrong side of my zipper is facing the wrong side of my skirt. So after attaching my zipper, I will have it closed like this, so it will not be obvious I have a zipper on my skirt. So that is why it is called an invisible zipper. The zipper will not be visible at all. Okay, so I'll put one side of the zipper allowance aside and I'll work on the first one. So I'll place my zipper like so. I will position my zipper allowance on my skirt as if I've attached it. If I attach it, I will have it like so. You can see what I have. Then I will hold my zipper allowance and my zipper together this way. Then I will turn it to the wrong side. So after flipping it to the wrong side, I will hold it like so, and I will hold the edges of my zipper allowance together with my zipper, and I will have it like this. You can see my zipper allowance is no more unfold. So now I will be stitching on this side of my zipper. So I will open up my zipper. So with this, I will be able to see the stopper I have on the zipper, which is here. Here is the stopper. I will place my zipper stopper to be on the notch point I have on the waistline. So this notch point is the waistline, and what I have at the upper part is the seam allowance. So the stopper I have on the zipper would be on the notch point I have on the waistline like this. Okay, then I will push my zipper forward to the zipper allowance line. So here is the zipper allowance line I ironed out. You can see what I have. Then I will hold the two together with my sewing pins. Excuse me. So I will continue this way. I will align this. The zipper coil has to be on the zipper allowance line like this, and I will pin them together. So this is how I will continue until I get to the lower part of the zipper. So when you are doing this, you have to be very patient. Don't be in a rush. Make sure your zipper coil aligns together with your zipper allowance line. If you cannot see this clearly with the ironing, you can get a chalk and mark out your zipper allowance. So guys, now I have my zipper pinned together with the zipper allowance of my 12-piece skirt. Okay, you can see what I have. So the next step is to stitch this. I will be stitching on the edges of the zipper. So this is to secure the zipper from being shifted away from the zipper allowance line. So I will stitch from the edges like so downward to this point. Okay guys, now I've given this a temporary stitch, and this is what I have. You can see I stitched the edges downward to the lower part of the zipper, which is here. Okay, so the next step is to attach the zipper to my 12-piece skirt. In doing this, I've already changed my machine foot to a zipper foot. Okay, so I have a zipper foot in order to be able to stitch this properly and easily. So you need to make use of a zipper foot. In order to make your zipper invisible indeed, make sure you pay a closer attention to this trick I will be showing you. Here is my zipper coil. You can see this is a little bit curvy towards the back side, so I will open it up in order to see what I have on the inside. Can you see? So after opening it up, I have a line here. So this back side of the zipper, you have to get a sharp object like a seam ripper or pin. Then you run a test on this side. I'm using my sewing pin, so I want to run a test on this side. If I stitch here, will it get to the zipper coil? Can you see? It does not get to the zipper coil. I'm running this test purposely because I have to make my seam very close to the zipper coil as much as possible. If the seam is not close enough to the zipper coil, the zipper will be visible. It will not close. So you have to make your seam very close to the zipper coil as much as possible. So with this, you will have a very close and neat invisible zipper. And at the same time, you must not stitch on the zipper coil. If you stitch on the zipper coil, it will disturb the zipper from being opening or closed. So I will position my needle very close to the zipper coil. Then I will press down my zipper coil in order to see what I have on the inside. You can see this is the inner part of the zipper. If I leave it like so, the zipper coil will cover up the seam allowance. After stitching, if you can see your seam showing outside, that means the stitches is not close enough to the zipper coil. After stitching, your zipper coil must be able to cover up your seam. So that is just the clue. Okay guys, now I have this stitched, and this is what I have after stitching. As I'm looking at my zipper, I cannot see my seam allowance like this. So purposely because my seam was hidden behind the zipper coil. So if you can see your zipper allowance, that means your seam is not close enough to the zipper coil. Okay, and after closing my zipper, this is what I have. So you can see my skirt is covering up the zipper opening. So that is why we call it an invisible zipper. By the time I attach the other side, the zipper will not be visible at all. Okay, so now I will be attaching the other side following the process I did on the first side. Okay, so in doing this, I will position the other side of my zipper allowance on this side, and I will make sure the edges are aligned properly. The positioning I have for the first one must be the same as the other side. So you can see what I have. Okay, then I will flip this to the wrong side, holding the zipper allowance and the zipper together like so. Then I will hold the edges. I was holding the two fabrics before, so now I will be holding one, which is the zipper allowance and the zipper only. So I will have the zipper allowance opened up like so. You can see what I have. Then I will open up my zipper. So after opening up my zipper, then I will pin the edges together just the way I did for the side. I will make my zipper coil to align together with my zipper allowance line. If you cannot see this clearly, you can take a chalk and mark it out. So guys, now I have this pinned together, and the next step is to stitch the edges of the zipper temporarily. This is just a temporary stitches in order to hold the zipper in place. Okay guys, now I have the other side of my zipper stitched properly, and this is what I have after stitching. You can see my seam is behind the zipper coil. Can you see what I have? So after stitching, I have to close this in order to be very sure there is no any hindrance for the zipper. So you have to close and open. Okay, so with this you'll be very sure your zipper is free. Okay, now let me tell you this: when you are attaching your zipper, make sure you have about 1 to 1.5 inches extra below your zipper allowance point. What do I mean by this? This is my zipper allowance point, this point. So as for me, I made use of 1/2 inch, so which means my zipper starts from 1/2 inch below my zipper allowance point, purposely because I want the zipper to be very long so that it will be easier for the wearer to wear the skirt. Okay, purposely because of the stature of the wearer, but this might be a little bit difficult in finishing the lower part of the zipper. So when you are making yours, if you don't mind, make sure you have extra 1 inch or 1.5 inches below the zipper allowance point before attaching your zipper. So let's assume this is my zipper allowance point. This is where my zipper allowance stops. From the waistline it stops here, and I close the remaining part of the zipper allowance I have on my skirt. Okay, so instead of placing my zipper to stop exactly on this point, I will bring down my zipper below this point like 1 inch or 1.5 inches. So that is what I'm trying to explain. But for me, I brought my downward by 1/2 inch, purposely because I want this part, the opening part of the skirt, to be very wide because of the stature of the wearer. So with this, it will be easier for you to finish the lower part of your zipper. Another thing I would like to share with you guys is when you are attaching your zipper properly very close to the zipper coil, in order to make this easier and for you to have a perfect straight line, you can open up your zipper coil like so. After running your test of the pin I showed you earlier, then you can mark the parts your seam will go through. You can mark it so that when you are stitching, you don't need to stretch yourself looking for the space anymore. So once you mark it all through, so you will know this is my route. So when you are stitching, you will know where to stitch all through. So that is that. Now the next step is to attach the zipper to the lining. Because my 12 pieces skirt is with lining, so I will have to attach the lining also together with the zipper. The positioning of lining to the main fabrics is wrong side facing the wrong side. I have my lining on the wrong side and I have my main fabrics on the right side. So I will insert my lining inside my skirt like so. So with this, the right side of my lining will be showing inside my skirt. You can see what I have here. So now I've held my fabrics and the lining together with my sewing pins. Then I will turn this to the wrong side. So after turning this to the wrong side, then I will remove my pins. So now I have my skirt on the wrong side. When my skirt is on the wrong side, I will be seeing the right side of my lining. Okay, so now this is what I have. This is the zipper allowance I have on the lining, and this is the zipper part on the main fabrics. So what I'm doing now is to attach this together with the zipper. So in doing this, I will hold my zipper allowance for the lining like so. Then I will place it on the zipper, the wrong side of the zipper, like this. So this is the way I will have it after attaching the lining. So I will have it like so. So I will position it as if I've attached the lining together with the zipper. So this is the correct positioning. Okay, so I will now turn this to the inside, so which will help me to hold the lining and the main fabrics together at the same time, and I will have it like so. Can you see what I have? Now I have my zipper in between the lining and the main fabrics. Then I will have it like so. Okay, then I will hold this together with my sewing pins. So I will make the lining and the fabrics align edges to edges properly. So after holding the edges together like so, then I will take it to my sewing machine and I will be stitching very close to the seam I have for the zipper already. This seam is the main seam for attaching the zipper, while this first one is for holding the zipper in place. So in attaching the lining, my seam is going to fall in between this seam and this seam. So it is not necessary. I made this closer to this, so it is not necessary. So I will just stitch at the middle. So you can see as I'm pinning it, that is the part I will stitch. I will make my seam falls in between the two seams. Okay, so this is what I have. I will make my seam fall in between the two seams. So by the time I stitch, I will have something like this on the wrong side. So the wrong side of my skirt will be very neat, so the zipper allowance will not be showing on the wrong side. So this is what I will have on the wrong side. The zipper allowance has been hidden in between the main fabrics and the lining. So this is what I will be having on the wrong side. So after doing this, then I will repeat the same process on the other side. So I will take this to my sewing machine. I will stitch in between the two seams before I stitch the other side. So guys, now I have one side of my lining attached to the zipper, and this is what I have after attaching it. Okay, you can see my seam, it falls in between the two seams I had there already. So here is the seam for the lining. So on the right side of my zipper, this is what I have, and on the wrong side I have this beautiful look. Can you see that the lining is not too close to the zipper? That does not really matter. Okay, so if I give this a press, it will fall like this and it will cover up the whole of the zipper I have here. So you can see what I have for my zipper. Also, when you are attaching this, make sure the zipper allowance you have on the lining is shorter than what you have on the main fabrics. Okay, so you can see where this stops. It does not get to the zipper allowance point. Here is the zipper allowance point on my main fabrics, but for the lining I stopped here. So I make this shorter than that of the main fabrics. So now the next step is to attach the other side of the lining together with the zipper. So in doing this, I will apply the same method on the wrong side of my zipper. I will fold in the zipper allowance I have on the lining and I will place it like so. In case you did not get it the first time, I'm showing you the second time. So here is the zipper allowance I have on the lining. So I'll fold it inward like so, and I'll place it on the wrong side of the zipper as if I've attached it. So this is what I will have after attaching it. You can see what I have. So after that, I will hold the lining and the zipper together like so, and I will open up my lining. By the time I open up my lining, I will see the zipper allowance on the inside. Then I will hold the two together like so, the zipper allowance and the zipper allowance I have on the lining. So with this, the zipper is going to be in between the lining and the main fabrics, and I will hold it together like so. So after holding it, then I will turn this to the side I have seams. So this is the part I showed you earlier. So this is the part I turned to. That is the part I have my seams, the two seams. So now I will hold the edges of my fabrics and lining together with my sewing pins. Then I will note the point where the zipper allowance stops on the lining, so which is here. So I will transfer this point to the other side I have my seams, so that I will know the exact point to stop when I'm stitching. So I have it there. Now the next step is to stitch this together, and my seam is going to fall in between the two seams I have here, this and this. So I will stitch in between and I will stop on the zipper allowance point I have on the lining. Okay guys, now I have the two sides of my lining attached to the zipper, and this is what I have on the wrong side. So this is the inside where the zipper allowance falls, and this is the right side of my skirt. So by the time I push in my lining, so on the wrong side, this is what I have. So there is no zipper allowance on the wrong side of my 12 pieces skirt, and here is the lower part of the zipper. Can you see what I have here? You can see the zipper allowance I have for the lining is shorter than the main fabric, so that is why I have the lower part of my lining covering up the lower part of the zipper like so. So this is just about 1 inch difference. The length of the zipper allowance on the lining will be 1 inch shorter than the zipper allowance on the main fabrics, so you will have the lower part properly and neatly finished like so. So that's all on how to attach an invisible zipper with lining.